Regression or progression? Let's talk about some wide receivers for 2023 next on Fantasy Football Today in 5. Welcome to FFT in 5. I'm Chris Towers. I'm here with Adam Aizer. And we're going to talk about some wide receivers, and we're going to see whether Adam thinks they're going to take a step forward or take a step back in 2023. It's pretty straightforward. Adam, I'm just going to tee you up with the wide receivers, and you're going to give me your thoughts. Let's talk about Christian Kirk first. Obviously had a career season in his first year with the Jaguars. However, that Calvin Ridley guy's pretty good. He's going to be available for the Jaguars in 2023. Do we think we saw the best of Christian Kirk in 2022?
Yeah, he was wide receiver 12 overall, wide receiver 20 per game, and I could see him finishing in that range. I don't know about 12 overall, but 20 per game. I think we probably saw the best, 133 targets. I would expect fewer than that, but not necessarily that much fewer. I think we're going to see a lot of regression from Zay Jones. So I think it'll be a minor regression. I still think you're going to have a lot of progress from Trevor Lawrence. Could have 600 more passing yards, more touchdowns, and Kirk will benefit from that. But Ridley will be the best wide receiver on the team. He'll be the alpha, and Kirk will regress.
All right, let's move on to Michael Pittman, who took a step backwards last season. 99 catches was a career high, but the receiving yards went down from 1,082 in 2021 to just 925 last season. Do you think we see him take a step forward with new quarterback Anthony Richardson there?
I don't know, man. I think that they could have the worst passing offense in the NFL. So I guess I still think he's going to be a target hog, and I still think he'll lead the team in every receiving category except maybe touchdowns. But I'm not really a big Michael Pittman guy, and I don't think we're going to see that much progress. I think he won't be worse. So maybe he'll break 1,000 yards, but I don't know. This is a very tepid endorsement of Michael Pittman. Slight progression.
Yeah, the efficiency was really where he struggled. Like you said, last season, 141 targets in 16 games. He was getting a ton of targets. It was just that whole Colts offense was pretty dysfunctional. Obviously, they fired their coach, going to have a new quarterback. There's a wide range of outcomes here, right? Richardson, really, really impressive physical prospect, but leaves a lot on the table when it comes to his accuracy in college, to be certain. But this is one that, like, if you're looking to make a bet on someone taking a big step forward, Pittman's a low probability bet, maybe, but there could be a lot of potential profit to be found here, right?
I guess so, but I'm just not really an Anthony Richardson guy in year one. I do like him in Dynasty. I just don't think he's going to have a good year throwing the football. So I have a hard time seeing it. It just reminds me a little bit too much of DJ Moore last year.
Speaking of, let's talk about DJ Moore, he's someone that for the last 3 years, I've pretty constantly comped to Stephon Diggs in terms of, the pre-Buffalo Bills era. Stephon Diggs was someone who, showed the ability to be a possession receiver. Had one year we had a ton of catches, but not a lot of yards. He also had years where he was a really, really effective downfield receiver. We've seen that from DJ Moore, who obviously has played with some pretty putrid quarterbacks in his time. And Justin Fields is an incredibly talented player, but still leaves a lot to be desired as a passer. Only 2,200 passing yards in 15 games last season. I know a lot of people are expecting DJ Moore to take a big step forward. He's being drafted right around 15 or 16 in a lot of drafts at wide receiver. Do you think that's actually going to happen?
Probably not. I would bet against it, but I wouldn't bet much against it. And when Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, and the last two especially, when they had their breakout seasons, there's no way we ever could have seen it coming. We never could have projected them to be as good of passers as they are. So I know you're asking me about DJ Moore, but really it's
a Justin Fields question.
It is totally a Justin Fields question. So I could see Justin Fields just having this great season, this MVP caliber season, and DJ Moore would really benefit from it. So when you're talking about upside, to me, there's no question he has a lot more upside than Michael Pittman. I don't think he has that much more downside. He should clearly be drafted ahead of him. I would draft him as a low-end wide receiver 2, and there is wide receiver 1 potential here, but Justin Fields is going to have that big breakout season.
All right, before we go, let's talk about Keenan Allen real quick. Had an injury-plagued season, but overall was still pretty productive. 75 yards per game last season, 66 catches, 11.4 yards per reception was actually his best since 2019, but entering age 31 season, struggled to stay healthy last year. Are we going to see a bounce back from Keenan Allen?
So yeah, on a per game basis, he was great. He was Keenan Allen. So is the question really, is he just going to stay healthy?
To a certain extent, but also with the new offense, with him getting a year older, it's just, do you have any concerns that we've potentially seen the best of Keenan Allen?
Well, and don't forget they drafted a wide receiver in the first round. So I do have some concerns, but not based on where I've seen him be drafted, because if he is Keenan Allen, he should be a 2-3 turn kind of pick in a PPR league. I think you're getting great value on him. And I think he just has his role. It's not really a role that we've seen much of in the Kellen Moore offense, but he has never had Keenan Allen. So, yeah, I'm not all that concerned. I think he's got a great chance to be a low-end number 1, high-end number 2 PPR receiver. You draft him around where you're considering DJ Moore. Hopefully you can wait till round 4, maybe late round 4 on Keenan Allen, because people are going to be a little scared off of him. But I think he's going to mostly just be Keenan Allen.
Yeah, and Quinton Johnston was the wide receiver that the Chargers drafted in the first round, 21st overall. I think he's more of the Mike Williams replacement. Big-bodied receiver, can go up and get the 50-50 balls, maybe be a downfield threat. But Keenan Allen's role, seems kind of secure relative to those guys. So I agree. He's a very solid wide receiver, too, in PPR especially. But low-end wide receiver 1 is probably the ceiling for Keenan Allen.
Pretty much always has been.
All right, that's going to do it for FFT and 5. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.